All right, hello YouTube world. I was talking to my son a little bit earlier, and he was telling me that, maybe we should think about doing some more fun videos as opposed to just informational videos. So I thought, you know what, this may be an opportunity. He and I, you can kind of see him back there. He's on his iPad. Yeah, lots of fun. He's kind of taking in all the sights here. We're in Ukiah, California at the Supercharger, close to my father-in-law's house. That's where we went this weekend. And I thought I'd tell you our experience with the supercharging and how we're doing on charges and all that good stuff. Now, I thought I could change the view of the camera from this, but I can't. So I'm gonna stop the recording and then we'll resume from there and kind of tell you a little bit more about this trip here. Okay, now I'm back outside of the car. We are at the Ukiah supercharging station. So just kind of an interesting thing, he told me to have a little bit more fun with this. We'll have some fun, but I wanted to and I'm sure this is something many of you may already know, but maybe you don't. If you don't have your Model 3 yet, you may still kind of have a few questions about many things, and one of those is the supercharging network. So here's how this works. Now what you'll see here, you got 1A, which is what I'm plugged into here. Then you've got 1B, and you've got 2A, 2B, and then so on, right? You got A and B. Now, the reason it's important to know about that is when you're sharing the number 1, what happens is you're going to share the amount of electricity that goes through those chargers. So you may start off with 80 to 100 kilowatt hours of charging, but then if someone pulls up next to you in 1B, you are going to have a reduced speed of charging because you're now sharing the amount of electricity that's going to be coming through. So the etiquette goes like this. You want to stay at least 1 charging unit from the other car. So as you can see, this one's at 3A. You see this one? It's over at 4B. This is the Model X over here. So again, you want to try to stay away from any other vehicles as far as you can to kind of keep that charging up. Just kind of give you an idea, when I first plugged in, it was at about 80, 85 kilowatt hours, which it can go faster. I've seen it upwards of 112, 115, and that's usually ideal. But as it starts getting more and more charged, getting around 70%, it really does start to slow down, but that is a way to protect the vehicle. All right, we're gonna have a little experiment here. While I'm recording, I'm gonna see if I can use my Hey Siri. Hey Siri. No, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna open up, just kind of show you how full the car. Open up that, and I'm gonna open up the front as well. All right, let's do that. So, we got back from my father-in-law's house. He's actually in the process of moving, so my wife took a few things from this house. So we got some kind of like a little painting easel here and some groceries kind of in the front. So we actually were able to utilize what little space there is in the front and use that. So that was kind of cool. Now check this out. We'll go in the back here and I'll show you what we got going on in the back. And it is kind of packed. I mean, look at that. I mean, it is fully packed. But to be honest, there wasn't much more that we needed to bring in, and of course utilize the space underneath the trunk there as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff in there. And just kind of show you, we kind of use the back seat as well because we only had to have space for my son. Say hello.
Hi.
Yeah, he took it for fun, but he doesn't want to have the fun with me apparently. All right, so that's that. I did want to kind of tell you my experience with driving too, because it was interesting. I actually enjoyed it because this Ukiah supercharging station is about 15-20 miles from my father-in-law's house. So when we got to his house, when we first got here, we went to his house and then I dropped my wife and son off, and then I came here and charged the car as much as I could and then got back home, because then we went to the coast in Mendocino. And this is great. We had about 180 miles of charge ready to go. No, excuse me, 280 miles of charge. We went from his house to the Mendocino coast to the Fort Bragg area, and then Fort Bragg down to Mendocino itself. And it really actually wasn't as far as I thought it was. It's just a very windy road, but it handled very well on the windy road. We had 280-mile charge. So from there and back, and kind of just driving around in general, we still had 120 miles left of charge. So of course today, we're heading back home and we are charging to get ourselves back home. And we're about 198 and just under 200 miles from home. And what's great is we don't even need to charge between here and getting home. So it was kind of neat to be able to just drive that long of a distance. It's about a 3.5 hour drive and not having to supercharge in between. All right, welcome back. I have one more tidbit of information. This is more fun than anything. So I ran into the other guy that had that Tesla Model 3, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it from here. I'm gonna try. But you can see underneath the charger here, to the right of those LED lights, you probably can't read it, but it says, "Made on Earth by Humans." You know, that's obviously, it's kind of fun. Apparently the guy that made the circuit board for the Roadster, again, I can't remember exactly what he said, but something about the Roadster is the guy that designed that. So again, underneath on the right side, if you next time you're at a supercharger, see if you can read. Kind of hard to read, but it says "Made on Earth by Humans." Thought that was kind of fun. Oh, and by the way, if you are ever in the Ukiah, oh, there's someone pulling up right now. All right, so if you're ever in the Ukiah supercharger, just kind of wanted to give a plug out to, of course, they didn't give me free coffee. This is a place called Black Oak Coffee Roasters. Now, I usually like to get some coffee when I go to a supercharger. And 3/10 of a mile, you got a Starbucks, and 3/10 of a mile, you got this place. So I thought I'd give it a shot, and just took a walk over there. And phenomenal coffee if you are looking for a place to get some coffee. And of course, they got some snacks and pastries and all that good stuff there as well. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in getting some coffee. Again, I guess that would just be a free plug for them because I'm not getting any kind of residuals from that or anything like that. So yeah, be sure to check it out. So again, that is my experience at Ukiah, some fun information, and we will see you at the next video. Until then, I'll say it again, stay safe.